Hello, hello, hello. And today is not a combo guide, tier list, or playlist character, or me trying to influence you to join the Blue Brigade. This is a series of characters, of case studies on all characters in the game in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today we're covering Goku, who has achieved God Key. Blue Goku. So at a glance, when you see Goku, this Goku, he is a powerhouse. He's got a command grab, big damage, random EX moves that come from nowhere. He's got a bag of tricks. This Goku has the tools of the trade. He has every tool. So if you like a character that has so many tools, lows, cross-ups, same side stuff, this is your guy. Just pick him. Now, as always, we talk about characters in zones. We're going to talk about up close, mid-range, and far. So that's how we're going to talk about these characters and specific tools or strengths that are used in each range. And we're going to go through buttons, supers, and specials before we delve into the game plan. So without further ado, let's go into the buttons. So up close, Blue Goku has a 6-frame jab. Standard range, so it hits about here, which is actually pretty good. His LL, the second of the LL is actually, if I get my opponent standing, is a low. So your opponent has to always be worrying about crouching. So if you don't know, when you hold back, you walk back. If you hold down back, you don't move. So because of this, your opponent has to stay in place. So they're always afraid of Blue Goku. They can't move. When you're holding down back, you never move back. So this keeps them in place. And it's -6, so it is punishable. But obviously, the distance is really good for him. He has a low 2L. I'm probably the only Goku in the game that has this. So this hits low, and he can do it twice. Same for this. So same for his 4L, 4L, and 1L, 1L. So this is really good for confirms. If you're really old and you can't confirm, then it's for you. It's 5M, great range. This actually hits from mid range, or from mid range. This actually hits. So this is a really good confirmable move for Goku. He also has a 4L version, which is a bit smaller. But if you look at the distance, the difference between them, this is -8, this is -2. So this is really good to get in your opponents really thinking about what's going on here. So right here, your opponent doesn't know if they're going to press a button or not. We just showed off his 2M, 10 frame 2M -5. From really far range, this can be up to -1. So watch out for this move. Even from here, it's -3. It's not really punishable. Even up close, it's -5, so it's still not punishable. So one of the few 2Ms that's not punishable. It's really good move to just throw out there at this range. Combined with the fact he can confirm easily with this. And if you combine it with -2, you can really mix up your opponent. So you can really mix up your opponent. I don't know why it's not crossing up. There we go. Really mix up your opponent and get them guessing. 5H, good range. Obviously hits mid-range. So this is kind of a good entry move. And obviously he's 2H. He has a standard Goku 2H. It's 14 frames, so it's just about on average. Now let's quickly go through his air normals. So obviously he's got a jump L. You're not going to use this much for cross-ups, because obviously he has a great cross-up JM. That from, not from close range, but from about here, is really good to kind of throw out there to really mix up your opponent. And really mix them up there. And obviously he has the Saru, the monkey jump H. Again, this could be an approach tool. So if you don't know how to approach in your mid-range, this could be a good approach tool versus your opponent when they're not ready. Now let's go into his supers. Goku has this Kamehameha here. He can do it twice. This gives a slide knockdown. Level 3. And if you hold down the button, he has the young level 5. So this is one of the most unique level 3s in the game, because Goku, you have a choice between either choosing level 5 or choosing what side he lands on. So that's actually pretty cool addition to what his level 3s. Let's go over his specials. So specials, he's got this move here. So important. Instability, this. So this, you saw that it goes through Ki Blast. So if your opponent is doing Ki Blast, one second. There we go. So you see that? So if your opponent's throwing Ki Blast, this is your best friend. But I saw it's not instant. There you go. You gotta be really good. I'm just terrible. As you see there. There you go. Then you have the M version. Again, for key blasts. This is a good move, because obviously if you knock your opponent down there, you can go into super. So bear that in mind when you are playing against Blue Goku as well. He has instant translocation. If you do 236S, goes in front. 236, 214S, goes behind. Sorry, this goes behind, and he's plus on blocks. He's +1. So you see the 1 there above the frame advantage 39. That's 1. That means +1. And if you see minus, that means -1. So you can go in front as well. So this character can really confuse the opponent when they're looking for this move, and all of his stuff has this little blue flash. It's a lot for your opponent to look for. He has, if you jump and do 2 on 4, he has a dive kick. Obviously you see there, if you put the opponent on crouch, the opponent can crouch it. And if you do the H version, this leads to a unique situation where he's able to dash after. So we're going to use this for mix-up potential. Now he has a command grab. Normal one is 17 frames, but obviously it can only burn up close. Otherwise it takes a bit longer. It's got a little bit of travel time, and he does a punch when it whiffs. So up close is straight away. If you do it from far away, it does the punch. And then you have the M version, which teleports forward, which doesn't give the punch. That's 30 frames. Then you have the H version, which combines the best of both worlds, and Goku's able to confirm after that. Not only I'll explain these two ones, he has a 236H version that goes behind. So again, this is good for kind of mixing up your opponent. If you do it after 2H, you keep your air momentum. So this is really good as a mix-up tool for Goku when you combine with the right assist or even full screen. But you want to really mix up your opponent. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, can't do it. There we go. This is to really mix up your opponent. You can really hit them with some same side, left, right stuff. It really confuse them. Now we can spend ages talking about Goku's the tools here, but that's not what we're here for today. We're here talking about win conditions, game plans, and what he's looking for. Now, who helps him with this? So there's quite a multitude of things that Goku does. But if we look down for 2 things and just look at his ranges, he's got a good jump S. He's got a good S game, so he doesn't really look like he suffers from the far range. Because we can always approach like this. You see, that's +17. So you can always approach this way, back off defensively as well, and he doesn't get zoned out. So the 2 things he looks for in a partner is obviously, once he's in, you saw the array of options. The threat of his command grab is probably the biggest thing. But if you saw, it gives you a knockdown. So there's not a lot of damage, but if you combine that with an assist, you get this unique situation where Goku, with Janemba it's a bit harder. See, as you see there, so you get this unique situation where Goku can confirm after. So assists that kind of help with those conversions are really helpful for Goku. So that's something to kind of think about when you choose a partner, like who helps him with the command grab. Because if any time your opponent decides to mash because they're afraid of the command grab, Goku has so many options. If they're afraid of command grab, he has big damage that he can do to his opponent. Now secondly, he has great EX moves, so assists that allow him to use them. So I did talk about this dive kick here. If you combine that with Nappa, so let's take off jabs. If you combine that with someone like Nappa's assist, Goku puts in this unique situation where, let's see if I can do this. There we go. We can go high-low, or you can just go straight low. So these situations are really, really good. So if you have the right assist to help him do this, that's kind of the partners he's looking for. So if we look at the assist that we have here, we have Nappa, we have Janemba. So with Nappa, I already showed with this. So if you try it with Janemba, it's not the same with the Janemba because you're able to super dash. If you put super dash on. So with Janemba, it might not be the best option. With Janemba, one time. Let's put super dash immediately, not on random. There you go. See, it might not be the best with Janemba. It's possible, But like I said, you're able to super that. So that might not help there, but Janemba we saw it helps him with the command grab. So Janemba helps him there with the command grab. And also helps him with his stalling pressure. So if he was able to do jab jab. See, Janemba was able to help Bluku there, so that's something you could think about as well. Let's go through this. Let's go quickly through Nappa's one. Let's go through here. The one it played as well. You see, like, now this Janemba assist. So you saw it's not helping here because there's not enough block stun there. So maybe that won't work. Nappa, if you look at the block stun, that's plus 29. It might not be. See, oh, it still works. See that? You can still use this if you really want to. So you can just like Nappa assist. Anyone that helps him do that. And also full screen. We also showed off the, and obviously C assists. Depends if you want to use them. Let's see if the threat of the command grab with C assists. Not really the same there, and spending a bar to use the C assist. Let's see. Yeah, C assist looks like what? So it looks like Bluku can use most assists, and not even just that. If we're sticking to the EX moves, Nappa we can do this. So we can do the jump. If you do it off the ground, he obtains an air move. So if we do Nappa with a C assist, we can put the opponent in a really precarious situation where they really have to kind of guess. Do one more time. See that high-low there? So the opponent really has to guess there. And there I went to the other side. So there's so many things you can do here with these assists. Now, if you're fighting against, there's lots of things we can go on about. Lots of 4 playing Blue Goku because he does damage, those sorts. But if you're fighting against Blue Goku, that's what we're going to talk about now. Now, solo without resources, say that if you have 0 bar or even 1, there's not much to fear actually when you're facing this character. Aside from obviously he has this great buttons here. So it feels like his pressure doesn't end, but this pushes you out. So at some time he has to come back in or end the string. So he might have all these options that you're ready for, but without resources and without EX to kind of mix you up like here and be minus or do this in your face, he can't really maintain pressure. After this, he has to go back in your face and take a risk to restart pressure. So if you're a savvy opponent and you're choosing the correct times when to backdash, you can actually escape some of his pressure without resources. So just be very, very mindful. So even if you get hit by a command grab, a lot of times you're not going to die. So unless he vanishes, there, that nothing much is going to come from there. And also far to mid-range, facing against this character, he has no real entry. So over here, from this range to this range, he actually has to take a lot of risk to get to you. So if this isn't really hitting you, and this just by itself isn't really going to kill you. So from here, he has to except for doing this, there's no real entry for him. So you have to take a risk with doing obviously instant translocation, which is plus, but your opponent, as I said, is able to 2H this. So if I was to do, let me see if I can set this up. Let me put the recording. I'll record it myself. So if I was here and I want to do this, your opponent is able to actually sit there and 2H it. So there's no real entry. So you have to rely, the Bluku player you face has to really rely on movement. So they have to rely on moving around the screen and using their assist to kind of help them their entry. But even then, this can be stopped. So yeah, that's Blue Goku in a nutshell. High damage. Very, very, very high damage. Corner combos and the whole lot. So let's go back. So obviously I had Blue Goku and Nappa and obviously Janemba, but let's just quickly go over what we went through. So we went over kind of Blue Goku, how he's just really strong character with so many, with a huge tool set, things for different situations. So we saw that he had the dive kick, we saw he had the command grab, we saw he had the EX shoulder. So obviously he's a character built to really mix up the opponent options when he has the correct resources. So we saw when we boiled down to there's many game plans, we talked about two things you might look for in a partner. We talked about the threat of the command grab. So being able to convert off of the command grab and actually deal damage means the opponent has to be afraid at all times. So the threat of the L command grab, combined with assists that also allow him to use his EX moves on block to kind of mix up the opponent or put them in situations they don't want to be in. Those are people he's looking for. So we saw with the Nappa A assist, Nappa even B assist and C assist. So all of Nappa's assists were helpful in some way to him as well. We saw with Janemba A wasn't great for allowing him to use EX moves on block, but allowed him to use those advancing normals and using all of those -2s, those -4s to kind of bait the opponent to pressing a button because they're afraid of their command grab. So building the character around the command grab and the threat of it and hitting the opponent for trying to escape, that could be an avenue you look for if you picture them or all the others. Now fighting against, we talked about solo without resources. There's not very much to fear from him, especially aside from instant transmission up close, and from far to mid range. Aside from him doing jump S, there's no real entry for him. He has to take some sort of risk when he's also trying to engage in that mid range. But yeah, I hope this video helps someone. Leave a like if you like the video. If you want to comment, if you're thinking of picking up Blue Goku or if this has helped you in any way, just let me know. Like I said, we always want to create a community where we really talk about character and really discuss things in detail. But yeah, I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.